Hello everyone, we're
MossCharmly.
MossCharmly. Today we're going to show you how to make your pictures glow using glow brushes and layer effects, as well as painterly techniques to enhance that glow.
This is a fully rendered picture that we've done, and we have a specific layers style that we choose. Basically, we have separated everything into what we call a flat layer, which allows us to use that flat layer as a mask. So if you don't know, we've actually colored over our flatted layer and used an inherent alpha. So just to let you know,
And that's
inherent alpha.
And that's that little A button.
Yeah, it's the little A button right there next to the lock. So we've done that to all of our layers so that we can control it and color it and do what we need to do to it.
Yeah, so that's the secret of how we're painting within it and not going outside of those lines.
We've created a background with a little bit of a darker hue placed over it so that it sort of gives a lot more contrast, which is very important when you start to create the glow, because you want that contrast. It'll enhance that. It'll make things seem more saturated and brighter.
Yeah,
so that's
we sometimes even put that on a multiply layer when we do that.
So you can come up here. Yes, we do have it on a multiply layer at this point right now.
And we also changed the opacity of it because, it'll be too dark when you first put it in. It'll just be one color, and then we change the opacity too.
Exactly. So just whatever's looks good.
Yeah.
So this is basically how we've started and set it up. In our favorites for the brush presets, we have a few that we'll go through, but we have actually added a lot of the dodge and burn tools, as well as a color tool from from the effects. I think they're in the effects layers, maybe. They are.
They're in digital.
Yeah.
So you'll find all of them in
effects.
Digital too.
Yeah, in digital as well.
Yeah, digital will have the color changing ones too. So you'll find more options with that.
Oh, that is a better place to look.
Yeah.
Right. Totally. Okay.
So let's go for
here we go.
Yeah, back to favorites. We're gonna show
let's make it glow.
Let's make it glow. So we're gonna show the start of this by making a glow brush.
Here we go. We're going to select the airbrush, which is just the airbrush. And the way that we're going to show how to
make it glow
is through its rendering, its actual blending mode.
Oh yeah, it's in that little right there. You'll see it's usually put to normal, and here the blending mode we could change. Right? Yeah, we go up there and we could change it. Yeah. And this is in a favorites list, so you might not have any of these choices or options when you first open this up. But you will find them in these menus on the bottom. So in order to make it a glow brush, go into this part that says quadratic, and you'll touch that drop down menu right there, and then you'll see glow. And when you press it, there'll be when you touch it, it will add it to that favorites list. So that's how you can add that and make it a favorite and in that glow mode.
And that's the mode we want to select it for. So we want that blending mode for the airbrush to be set at glow. We're going to work on the wings right now. And in our menus, in our layers, we actually have our wings separated. And we're going to select the glow layer so that we actually know what we're doing. And
so the layer's not set to glow, just to let you know. We just named it glow.
Yeah. It's easier for us to organize it like that. So each one of our sections has a glow layer. So but
it's on normal.
It's on normal. Its rendering mode is on normal. So the cool thing with this is that you can paint with this.
Yeah, so now let's paint with the airbrush glow. And to start, just to say, so we're going to start by painting this a yellow color. So we recommend choosing a color that is, more saturated and a bit brighter than you would choose to make it a more of a vibrant glow brush.
Exactly. So there we go.
Yeah. So now we're gonna go for it. So
and
we're gonna
just build, and because it's on the inherent alpha, you can actually do this. Now it's just like it works just like the airbrush itself. Where you can actually just build slowly, so that you don't really overload everything too fast. The cool part about it is that once you really start to build, that's when you get to see the really great effects that this does. So it's kind of like the more you add on top of itself.
Yeah, the more it kind of burns out.
Yeah, exactly. It gets so much more enhanced. The saturation gets a lot better, you know, like higher, I mean, you know, and you'll see that there's going to be a lot of different effects you can actually perform with this, which is cool. So you change your size, fool around with stuff, you know, just make it look the way you like to, you know, it's pretty cool. But the more you lay it down, the more it's actually going to build on, which is a really nice thing. Because for me, sometimes things will happen a little too fast, you know, and I'm just, I'd like it to be, you know, a little bit easier to deal with and manage. So putting it on this glow effect really helps, and using the airbrush is really nice as well.
You can even change color, like say we could change it to a pink, and you can have a different pink color to the glow brush and add that.
Exactly, right? So it does actually use that color, and the more, in the same way, the more you add to that.
Yeah, the harder you press, and the more you add to it, it'll do that really cool burnout effect, which really makes it neat.
It's like a dodge, or they call it because it's a color. It's glow.
It's just glow. This one's a glow brush, so we'll explain that.
This is so cool
too, right?
See, kind of works really nice.
That adds to it. Don't forget that part of the wing too.
Sorry, you're right. Gotta do that with that color. You're right. Sorry about that.
No, it's all good.
Like this, and you can always, and it just goes over itself. It's pretty cool, you know. In the end, I really like how it works. It really does really cool things.
So let's start with another effect we can use.
Okay.
Let's try the effects for the water.
Water.
The water she's holding. The dew.
Here we go. We'll go over to the dew. Excuse me, just pulling that palette off. So we're going over the dew, and we're going to do the glow for the dew, right?
Yes.
Is that what we're doing?
So we have the airbrush is still set to glow, and we're going to choose a color that would match for it. So we're going to choose a blue that kind of suits that.
Yeah. Definitely try to make something a little more saturated than you would, right? Really? Yeah, okay. And then we're going to actually come in here, and this is inheriting the flat layer. So we're just going to sort of enhance this a little bit.
Yeah.
And see how it sort of like really pops this stuff out.
Yeah, it really does. It brings it out really pretty.
Adjust that size of your brush so that it tailors itself to whatever you happen to want to paint. And just remember also, the more you add, the more it's going to really get enhanced. So yeah.
Now, also for an example for this, we're going to show you how to enhance that a little bit more with by changing that to by making the brush a color dodge. So here's a choice for color dodge. You can find color dodge in the illumination area here. Or enlighten, I mean. So enlighten, and then you can find
all the way down here to color dodge.
Right up here. First choice.
Visually confusing. It
is super confusing to look at these menus. So
it's working.
It works. So make sure you get the thing you're looking for, color dodge, up here, and then your brush is set to color dodge, and you can also enhance that more. Exactly. So the harder you press for color dodge,
it does the build.
It builds, and it does very much an immediate burnout kind of effect. So it brightens it out by doing that.
But you can change your color too, right?
Yes,
you can actually add a different, like a little bit of something in here too, right, with that, because it's got that color changing ability.
Yeah, we could show other brushes. There's a few other brushes we want to show too that can kind of do stuff. So here's a color changing brush right here. Okay. Has a rainbow.
This one.
Yeah. Okay. That one can
and that's set at just color.
Yeah.
Right? And we can just literally just go in here and add a bit of color.
You can add another color choice. So it kind of has that ombre effect where you can completely change a color, and it would add that to it too, and then add another color to it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, that's pretty. You can add ombres and different things. So if you want little things in it, you can do that.
Nice. Okay, I like it. What about these guys over here? Because this is just the color dodge itself. So you could actually adjust that color dodge, right?
Yeah.
And then we can actually really get in here. But I know that a lot of this has already been.
It's already pretty burnt out, so you're not going to see much more.
So we can, but let's redo it.
Yeah.
Let's just go over this, and then we'll actually come in here, because it's actually going to be set up as a color dodge. So we could actually add, and it will actually, which this is my favorite personally, because it really gives it sort of that saturation.
Yeah.
And this will actually, you know.
Kind of like an inner glow look with
right?
color dodge.
Yeah, it really does give it that. Exactly, it's an inner glow. That's exactly what it is. So this is my preferred method, to be honest.
Then we could try.
This is just the dodge, right?
This one's the multiply. This one is a color dodge brush as well.
Color dodge. This is cool. This does a lot of that interesting enhancements, you know. And I would definitely come in here, and this is a color dodge, right? So
oh yeah, you went back to the one that is a color dodge.
Sorry, yeah. And then we'll do this, right? This is color dodge. There we go, right?
Yeah.
It's pretty cool. And this is set at color dodge. It's nice. I'm just adding a little bit of highlights off the airbrush so that it gets sort of that burnt.
We set the airbrush to color dodge as well. So you can...
It's using them in tandem, basically.
Yeah.
I hope it didn't get confusing. It's just more of like using the actual brushes in tandem with the airbrush.
Yes.
You can get that desired look that you're going for. That's
because they're like made by Krita, and also we just changed that mode just to let you know.
Exactly. So once you have like this kind of glow that you're looking for, like it's sort of the basis for your glow. You know, it's there. It really is there.
We could discuss the glow off of the character too.
Yes.
Let's do that.
Definitely do that for sure. What I would do with this is you can actually use a brush. We've actually set up our glow layer inside of the fairy body or the fae body, and you can just using the airbrush set to color, color dodge, you can just come in here and just, adjust what will be seen or what, how they'll, because basically you're dealing with cast light. This is actually the light that would be shown, on, or, it's shining on your character, and all the little bits that would be,
and you could also use glow too for that effect as well. Just to say
right.
by changing it.
So we'll go to glow, right?
Yeah, it kind of leaves a softer look. That color dodge has a more burned out look.
It does. It's a little bit more saturation as well.
Yeah.
You can really sort of work
on
that.
It's a soft look. And you could, erase and sculpt it and blend it if you'd like.
It's all about what you want it to be.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool. I do like that where it's on the glow. That's really nice. I'm going to put it back on the glow. That is nice, just to give it sort of like, that's nice.
So when you have that character or whatever the glow is reflecting, it'll bounce off, and you can use that glow brush to do that.
It's really nice. This is cool. See, these are really interesting techniques. It just takes a little bit of, practice and honestly experimentation, right?
Yeah, really. The more you just practice and have fun, the more it'll just be fun, and you'll get better at it.
Exactly. On the hand, a little bit here, right?
Yeah, that's really neat. Stuff. See, it's such a fun brush to use. It looks really cool.
It's very forgiving. You can really just sort of like, this is cool.
So, and that's just changing the airbrush into glow mode.
That's it, exactly. So now that we've got this set up, right, we're going to talk about, look at that. It's already just really popping out in a real good way.
Yeah.
I want to go back to the glow on the wings, though, to be honest. I think that needs a little bit of extra, personally. Sorry, perfectionist, or trying to be a perfectionist. I'm going to use a color dodge. And that's going to give it a little bit more of that burn I'm looking out. Oops, sorry, excuse me. Always hit my little trigger for that. So yeah, I just kind of want it to have a bit more of a glow look, or using this burnout to sort of the dodge to sort of make it look like it's really happening. Go back a little bit of the pink, have that. See that kind of.
How about a little bit below the neck here?
Oh, you're right. See, I'm all over the place. Thank you very much. Go, a little bit of this.
Very cool. So adding the color dodge really burst, bust it up.
Increase that contrast. There's one thing I did want to bring up. I'm sorry. What were you were gonna?
That I was thinking about the one for the layer above for adding that effect.
Like that atmospheric mist?
Yes.
Yeah, that haze, the haze glow, right?
Yes.
Wonderful. So
trying to get the words.
That's exactly where I was going. That's the one I was going to be doing.
Yes, that adds a lot.
It does.
So now we're going to show an atmospheric mist on top
Yeah, this definitely brings out a lot of that.
So go for it.
No, it's okay. Yeah, we're going to be putting it in the layer that we've designated haze glow, just because it's easier for us. And we know that the wings and the water droplet is going to have that in it. So we're going to start
with the wings.
Exactly, right? We're going to go back to the airbrush, and we're actually going to make it normal, surprisingly enough. And that is overlay. We want to make it normal. And we're going to pick a color. Now, I like the yellow, so I'm just going to go back to that sort of yellow that we had before, but I want to make it like, it's a little bit brighter.
And this is going to be on top of the wings.
This is on top of the glow.
On top of it all.
Exactly. This goes on top of it all. And also, this does not have the alpha setting on it. This is just all, it's full fat, complete, layer. So yeah, now we're just going to put this on top of it all. Now, if you look, what it's doing is it's almost affecting it in an atmospheric way. So it gives it almost like there's that glow, an emanation, I would say, in a way, right? And if you don't like the color, we can go back and mess around with it a little bit more and give it a little bit of a different, look. If you're looking for something, sometimes those little touch-ups really matter.
Yeah, sometimes you can go even out a little bit further if you want.
A little bit further, so you just want it really like that.
And you can, sometimes too, if you add too much, you can always erase it.
Exactly.
You could change your you could change the airbrush into an eraser.
Exactly. Oh, perfect. See?
So,
okay.
So I recommend
And I'll turn that into an eraser. It's
Yeah.
up here on your tool settings. Just toggle that on, and you can come in and just sort of refine it. And that definitely gives it a much more natural look. Like if you actually are here and you're doing these things in layers, like if you really are adding and enhancing, putting that on eraser, it's going to definitely change your airbrush size. It'll give it more of a natural look, that gives it, less.
It kind of controls the effect.
Yeah, exactly. You're controlling it in a much better way to get exactly what you want.
Yeah.
Now this is the trick. Okay, we're going to show something really crazy, but let's wait. We'll show that.
Let's do that. Let's retry it on the water droplet.
Just wanted to let you know that what this haze glow was set. It's on.
It's on normal.
Yes. The thing that we want to do is gamma illumination.
Yeah, when you put that on that, it bumps it up even more. It's like the ultimate kind of secret.
It's like super.
This is a secret layer effect for. For.
This is the layer
for
effect.
These.
Exactly.
So we'll show you more of that with it too. We could do the effect too on the water droplet.
There we go.
If we show
this
that.
Set it normal. Yeah. Right.
Yeah, like if we do that.
The haze.
The haze over.
Got it.
Yeah, if we do the haze over the water.
Back to airbrush, back to normal blending mode. Make sure you're on here, no inherent. And we're just gonna throw this down sort of just in front of everything.
Yeah.
Because you're looking at this in a way where you're like, oh, this is gonna glow, right?
Yeah, it's really just pumps it up so much more.
It does. Change, get that saturation where you want it. Sometimes, changing the color a bit. Mid, will really give it a little bit extra,
Oh, here's the drop there too.
Oh, sorry, thanks. Didn't even see it. And we could just increase, and this goes over all the layer.
Yeah, this goes over the layer of the water droplet, even over the glow of it.
Yeah, exactly. It's almost like this is something, this is what we're looking for with the glow and stuff. So.
And now to show you, to have it like pump up.
One other thing, sorry, just as an effect with the same of sort of like sculpting that area. Mm-hmm. The weird thing is like sometimes this stuff, giving it a bit of a hard edge on some of these. I'm sorry, I'm not close enough, but kind of like making these shapes, a little bit more odd or, what I would say is natural, because nothing's like perfect, in that way. It actually gives it a little bit more depth.
That's true.
Just which is
a
nice.
lot more natural effect.
Yeah.
Like a lot of the time, the layers or not layers, but these effects are done on a brush that doesn't have high opacity, you know what I mean? Like or it's just one.
It's just one
smack color. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
And it just shows that glow. But when you have more, kind of allow for a little texture in it, it kind of makes it more unique and interesting to look at.
Exactly.
More natural in that way.
And now we're going to show really that enhancement even more, right?
Now we're going to change that haze, and we're going to change it by making that layer into a
into
gamma illumination.
Gamma illumination. And if you want to see what it looks like normal, and then we want to see gamma illumination, it actually does pop it up a bit, which is very interesting. So it's kind of nice.
You'll see how we'll pop it up more for other effects. So we're going to show you that too.
Yeah, exactly.
So let's show kind of texture brushes, like kind of in the background.
Very nice. Okay.
Like magic and effect.
Got it.
Magic effect.
Can we bring up the silhouette as part of this painterly effect, which can happen? Sometimes this is something you would want to do to enhance the contrast even more. Exactly. Yeah. So you kind of want to pick that shadow color that you may have, or the shadow color you've selected in a way, you know. I'm just going to randomly pick this blue because I know that it's kind of close to what we had. Yeah, we'll do it like right there. Bring it down, you know, pretty close. Desaturate it a smidge. Go back to that airbrush, make sure that it's on normal, and give yourself a bit of, you know, like room, you know, because and just basically trace around. Sorry, that's.
Make sure you're on the right layer too.
I'm actually on a layer that I called silhouette, just so that I knew that, you know, I know that it's the one I need to paint. And all you're doing is just sort of going around the edge, the perimeter of your character, or the objects even, and you may not notice it at first, but it's one of those strange little subtle effects that actually does enhance
the glow a little
bit. It's this strange, you know, it's an optic thing. So basically what you're doing is you're making something even stand out even more, because it's like tricking your eye that it's darker than it really is. So yeah, just wanted to throw that in there as just an effect that could help out, you know, in some way when you're just doing lighting effects. So just wanted to share that really fast. I know it doesn't look like much.
Doesn't look like anything, but it does do stuff.
And you can put it around all of the objects, which actually does help a bit and gives it a little bit more, like things are a little bit glowier. It does things.
You could really see it now in the objects.
Right?
Yeah, if you make that brush bigger and just kind of show that.
See, it actually can.
Like just see how that, like that.
It does pop it out more.
It pops it out more. You know? So that's just an obvious thing when you do it really big.
Yeah, like that's totally
because it didn't show it as much before.
No, but it does actually make things look a little bit more glowy than they really are in real life.
That's a cool
It does
effect.
actually make it that way. Yeah. So that's kind of cool. And that's just, you know, a normal 100% opacity, and we're just keeping the airbrush at a normal set. So you wanted to show like the background bokeh effect, right?
Yes.
Okay, this is a cool effect for sure. I just want to make the whole thing so we can see it big enough. So what we're going to do is we're going to go into our brush presets and go down to textures, right?
Yes.
Now this is the cool one. This right here, this is actually a bokeh
effect brush.
So we'll get
if you get your mouse and you can hover over it, it's a stamp bokeh.
So this is a really cool thing to do. And these are great effects for in the background, which will enhance stuff really well too. Yeah. So we're putting into the background the BG Black bokeh glow layer, and we're going to make this a really big image. Check a color that you might want with it. Exactly. I personally am going to pick something close to this, the turquoise, because I just kind of like it that we have. Yeah. And I'll bring it down just a smidge, just to change the hue slightly. But it's a nice thing to keep it up in a good saturated area. Make sure you've got a good saturated color with this, and you're actually nice. Okay, here we go.
Now set it to brush.
There we go. Yeah. Right, and we're just going to come in here and just have this.
And this is all in the background of it.
Exactly.
And the bokeh brush is fun to play with.
It is.
It's set. Yeah, it's set to color dodge, just to let you know.
Yeah.
Currently.
Sorry about that. But we're going to set it to glow, right?
Yeah. You can set it to glow as well.
Glow. You can fool us. Look at that.
And either way, both are really good. To set it to color dodge or glow works beautifully. Mm-hmm.
Altering your color, if you wanted a little bit of a difference.
Yeah, you could add a completely different color too if you want with it, and it will show as a different color.
Yeah.
Now we'll show you another thing with this.
This is really where it gets
cool. This
is
a really cool thing for your glow effect, and it's up at the toolbar on top. Mm-hmm. And we're going to blur the bokeh.
Yeah, which makes it more natural.
So we go into filter on top, and then we go down to this menu which says blur, and then we're going to go into Gaussian blur. You click that, and it will give you this menu. So we'll put the menu to the side, and you can then use the toolbar to adjust that blur.
Isn't that nice?
Yeah, so you can really play around with that. Right? So you can make it really blurry. You can make it, just
kind of
just
like lost
enough.
Almost,
Yeah.
Just a smidge.
Just a smidge.
Kind of nice. It's cool.
It's a cool thing. You can add that and press OK.
Good.
Also, you can put that bokeh layer into that gamma illumination mode in a layer.
Yeah. Which is, so I set it at gamma illumination, and it gives it more of a natural look. And see how it definitely enhances certain things? Like it gives it a more ethereal vibe, doesn't it?
I think that's it's a fun thing to do.
Yeah.
You can also say change a color completely.
Oh yeah, here we go.
So say
we don't like the color of the glow, maybe.
Yeah, maybe you don't like the color of the glow.
Okay.
Or maybe you don't. Yeah.
Or you don't like the color of the character.
Maybe you don't like the color of the character.
There we go.
Say
because it's not working harmoniously with everything.
Yeah. Exactly. So you can change a full color. So you can do that by going up to the top.
And we're going to filters, and it's an adjust. Sorry.
Yeah.
Adjust. And then we're going to go all the way down to color.
HSV adjustment.
There we go. And then it's right here.
And then it will give you this.
And this gives you hue, saturation, and lightness. You can actually just, do intensity or luma. These are all different things, your values. It's all very much the same thing.
And here's how to change that color on the top. Say, oh no, it should be a different color. Maybe we want it more red, or maybe maybe a little bit more purple. And it'll change a lot. But look how it actually will change things into a different harmony, a different color harmony. You can increase the saturation, you can decrease the saturation, increase the luminosity or the values. Now you can even use this maybe if you want to change, desaturate the glow. Maybe it's too saturated for you. You could also use this as a tool to change that. Yeah, exactly. So if you wanted to go into the glow of, the actual glow itself that's happening. You go into the filter, adjust, adjust, and then we're going into HSV, and then you can come in here and change the saturation, so we can desaturate it. Yes, right? If you feel like maybe it's too much, you can increase and decrease it with this. You can adjust the lightness if you want. You can even change the color. Exactly, change the color. Isn't that cool? That's really cool. Like, isn't that wild? Like, this is a really neat thing to do, and that's just this. And you can go in and change the whole thing if you compress it all, in the way you want it to be. And you change it in any way you want. Yeah. It's really quite cool. This is really neat. So there's a lot of different tools to sort of make something glow. Yeah, and Krita has a lot of it. So with Krita, you can change it through the brushes, or you can change it to a layer. Exactly. So that can be a little complicated, but you can do a lot with it still. And just, experiment, take your time with it. Also remember, when your brush is, like, say on the bokeh, and you maybe don't want it to glow anymore, remember to change your brushes to normal. So we will forget that, the brush is on normal, and sometimes you have to change it. Yeah. So remember that too. Also, if your brush might be on eraser, that always helps. that always helps too. That's a huge difference. We are often stuck on eraser and not know why it's not working. Exactly. You're not alone with that. No. So just experiment, have fun, and have fun making your characters or your art, whatever you're drawing, glow. Exactly. Definitely. Yeah. So have fun. Just keep doing it. Yeah. That's all you can do, right? Yep. Honestly. So, okay. All right. Are we all set? Heck yeah. We did it. We did it. Okay. MossCharmly out.